Hey everybody, again this is Melody, as always from Melody's Makings at www.melodies-makings.com. I'm here today to give you a quick sample of the 3-needle bind-off method. I have those working on my How to Knit series, working on one of 3 patterns, 2 of which require the 3-needle bind-off method. So I'm going to give you an idea of how to do that today. I've just knit up a small little sample swatch on my giant needles here so that I can show you exactly how it goes. Generally, when you're working with a pattern that has the 3-needle bind-off method, you're going to have an even number of stitches. There will be that occasional time, especially if you're knitting a pattern that has super bulky yarn, where the pattern designer may have needed to tack on an extra odd stitch, and that's no big deal. When you're doing the 3-needle bind-off method, you want to divide the stitches evenly, or as close to evenly as possible in the odd case, onto 2 separate needles. So I wanted to show you exactly how to do that. I have 12 stitches on my needle, and in order to separate them evenly, all I'm going to do is drop 6 of them off of the left-hand needle. And then I'm going to pick those 6 up onto my right hand needle. And what we want is to be able to start from the ends and knit to the center in our bind off. So as you can see, that's not going to work because when I put my needles together, I've got a twist. So now I need to drop these 6 off of this needle and put them on going the opposite direction. And it's a lot easier to do than I'm making it look because I'm doing it through a camera, so don't fret. Alright, so once you get the 12 stitches divided separately onto your knitting needles, you can see you've got your needles going the same direction, tips should be pointing the same direction, but you've got the outside edge towards your tips and the inside edge towards the middle of your needles. So now I can turn this either way so that either side of my project is facing out. Generally, the stockinette stitch side, the knit side, is going to be the outside of your project. So when doing the 3-needle bind off, you want to put the 2 knit sides together so that the seam is going to show up on the inside of your project instead of the outside. So I've already got that going. You can see the purl. If not, all I would need to do would be to turn my needles around like that. But I don't need to do that today. So we're just gonna keep the purled side facing out right now. And then you take your 3rd needle. It just needs to be close to the same size. Sometimes even using a size larger needle is nice because it keeps your bind off really loose. So if you have tension problems, you might consider going up a size in needle for the 3-needle bind off. But using the same size needle is just fine too. And you go ahead and push both ends of those loops up to the tip of your needles, and then you go as if to knit both of the first stitches. So if you were just knitting one, you would go into this one knit, but you're going to go ahead and knit both of them. So you're just basically knitting them both at the same time. It sounds complicated, but it's actually very easy. You wrap once around that, and you do your knit stitch, and then you drop them off your needles. And you do that with the first 2 stitches. See how I'm through both loops? But it's just in the same fashion as if I was knitting one. I'm just doing them at the same time. Oopsie. And then you just drop them off your needles. And grab my whole loop there. There we go. So then you do the same thing that you would do on a traditional bind off method, and you take the first loop and you pull it down and over the second loop. Then you're going to go ahead and knit through both of the next ones just the same. Drop those off, take the first loop, pull it over the second loop. Knit through the next ones just the same. Take the first loop, pull it over the second loop. You do that all the way to the end, and then on the very last stitch you're going to cut this end, pull this loose, and pull the end of the yarn through the loop. Pull it tight. That's all you do for the knot at the end. Then, as you can see, you've got a fold here. So if this were the very top inside of my hat, well, actually this would be the bottom because we're working up towards the inside. So this would be the top inside of my hat after I bind it all off. I'm going to have a cute little pointed bonnet from that bind off. So if you have any questions at all, please just comment on the blog post. I'm going to be back in just a minute with my last post for this segment, and it's going to be how to do decreases in both the knit two together and the purl two together style for those of you who are working on the summer kerchief instead of the ribbed pixie or the Valentine's Day bonnet. So check out the blog post that goes with this if you haven't already, and I will be back in a few with the next one.